Hey YouTube, figured I'd hop on real quick and make a video on how to play Skyward Sword Randomizer on your PC. So I actually just finished Randomizer last week, and I figured I'd hop on real quick and make a video on how to install and play it, because I actually didn't have one when I did it, so figured I'd help you guys out and make your life just a little bit easier. So let's get started. Before I begin, I made a quick little list of stuff you're gonna need. If you want to pause the video and take a screenshot, go right ahead. But basically, the first thing you're gonna need is a Dolphin emulator. Now, Dolphin, I'll show you in a second what that is. It's an emulator that allows you to run pretty much any Wii and GameCube game as long as you have the file for it. And this is the most popular emulator for those types of games. Next thing you're going to need is a legal ROM copy of the game. Now, I actually can't tell you where to get this because it's illegal, and Nintendo can possibly sue me for this, which I don't want. So I'm sure you don't want either. So one way you can do it is if you have the original game from 2011, you can actually rip the file and get the file in a digital version. And there's countless videos on YouTube of how to do that. So if you look up one of those, I'm sure you'd be able to solve your problem pretty quickly. Third thing you're gonna need is the randomizer itself, and I'll show you how to get that. And that's obviously just done through a simple Google search of how to Skyward Sword Randomizer. It'll come right up. Next thing is, I put this on here for a reason, is something to play with. Now obviously you'll be thinking, well, of course you want something to play with. The Skyward Sword, of course, the one you're playing for the randomizer is a Wii game. Now that means most likely most people would think you need a Wii controller to play it. And you're not wrong, you do. But you can actually bypass that, and you can play it using an Xbox or a PlayStation controller like I did. I use an Xbox controller for the record. But there is a video on YouTube that I used that somebody basically made a profile for it. And was able to kind of just share it with me. And I basically used that to play my entire randomizer. It's very, very helpful. And I'll link that in the description below for you guys to check out if you're going to be playing this on an Xbox or PlayStation controller. But if you're playing it a Wii controller, don't worry about it. Next thing you're going to need is, I put this on here for a reason, a tracker. And I say for your sanity because there are a lot of items in the Skyward Sword that most people completely go over their heads when they're playing the game for vanilla. And this is a super helpful tool for any Zelda game for that matter, or any randomizer shots per se, that you should definitely have, and I'll show you what I used in a second. So all out of the way, let's get started with the actual installation. So I got everything up here. Yeah, look, there's Wind Waker literally right here. So if you're going to be playing this game with a Wii controller, typically you want to use you can just download this link right here. And the reason I'm splitting this between the Wii and Xbox/PlayStation is because of the video. So if you're going to be playing with a Wii controller, you can use this download, and if you're going to be playing with a Xbox controller or PlayStation, you go to download, and then you scroll down here to go view older versions, and then there's a whole list pops up of all the versions that Dolphin has. Now it's actually it's not on here, but if you keep going, it'll take you forever to get to it. But basically it's page 97 on here. I checked it multiple times. I'm just gonna scroll all the way over there real quick. And it's going to be version 5.0-11673. And this was made at the time of making this video 2 years and 6 months ago. And I say this because the video that the guy uses to show you how to play with a controller. He uses this version right here, and the controllers pretty much match up almost exactly the same. So, the configuration matches up almost exactly the same as a controller. So just make sure if you're playing with the Xbox or PlayStation controller that you install this version. If you're playing with a normal Wii controller, you can simply just download the top link. I'll link Dolphin below, as well as a link to this page right here as well. So another thing, I already downloaded it. It's actually in my downloads right here. Right here. Right here. Dolphin emulator 1.163. Yeah, so that's Dolphin. And again, just a simple Google search for the next thing, which is the randomizer, and it'll bring you to a page that looks something like this. And it's very simple. Just like this is right here to get started. Check with the latest builds. So you just click builds here, and then it shows up all the builds. Now builds, you can choose between master, cheats, chest sizes, or no logic. I would not recommend no logic entrance randomizer, because logic is what allows the game to run, and you can possibly soft lock yourself. And you don't want that because you can't finish your randomizer. So if you're playing more casually, you want to just click master. If you're playing more competitively, you can choose windows, like for tournaments. And of course, if you want to compete, there's their Discord server right up here, which you can just click the link and join the server. But you basically, like I said, you click master, and then a whole bunch of links are going to pop up. You just want to click this top one right here, and it's going to download this. It's going to download this link right here, which I'll extract in 1 second. So, yeah, that's your randomizer. And last but not least, you need your tracker. Basically, you just want to click this link right here, and it'll show up with this page here. Now, GitHub can seem a little bit confusing at first, but most of the information is usually on the bottom all the time. So when you're going through here for the tracker, you just want to click main dev, and it's going to bring up this tracker here. Now, right now, I'm just going to have you pause if you're setting up this tracker as you're following along. This is because you don't want to select any of the options that are overriding with your original, like the settings on the randomizer. So for now, pause with this, and we'll come back to this in a second. So for now, if you have a second monitor or just on the side, you can throw this over to the side for a minute. That's back on our main page here. I'm just gonna go to files, and then this is actually I usually make a file for all my stuff for randomizers, which I recommend you do too, but if not, it'll show up in your downloads here. So what you're gonna want to do is this is the Dolphin master. This is the Dolphin file, and it says .7z. So to extract that, you just right click it, and then you hit show more options, and then you can hit 7-zip and extract files. And I already extracted it, so I don't really need this. Now, if you're playing, if you're doing the randomizer, you just click, you can just, obviously, zip file, you just extract it here, extract all, and again, I'm not going to do this as well because I already did it myself. So, when you have all these extracted, it'll look something, so you have it all extracted, and you're back here. Basically, your Dolphin will show up something like this, and if you want to launch Dolphin, you just hit this .exe file, and eventually, when you launch your randomizer, most likely it'll pop up with a README setting ssrando.exe. Now, this right here is your randomizer creator. Now, without this, the randomizer cannot be generated. You'll be playing the game vanilla, which you don't want. So, what you can do is you just double click it to open the randomizer file maker, and in a second it should pop up. It'll bring up this command prompt. It's going to ask you for a NTSC-1.0 ISO is needed. and you hit yes. It's going to ask you to find it, and you only need it once. So this is basically what's asking is for your legal copy of the game, which for me is right here, right there. Hit open, and that's going to verify it to make sure it is the right version for this randomizer. And I forgot to mention before, but you need a 1.00 version of this game. So basically the game that came out at launch, which most of the time if you bought this game, you can just, it should be fine. But if not, I'm sure you can join the Discord server and ask a couple questions on how to get one. But yeah, just get that, choose it, and it's gonna just verify it and extract the files. So I will actually be right back when the game files are extracted and we are on the page to start setting up the randomizer. Alright, I'm back. So after your files extract and verify, you'll bring up with this randomizer page right here. And this is where it allows you to choose between what you want to basically do to your randomizer. And there's multiple settings you can choose from, and I'm not going to go through all of them in this video. So because if you highlight over them, like for example right here, if I want to highlight this, it'll tell you on the bottom. I'll just circle and editing right there, and that will show you what each thing does. So it'll change between each. So that there it's different, and there it's different. So if you want to highlight over them and then read down below, you can do so. Yeah, so this over here, this setup page is what happens when you basically launch the randomizer. I wouldn't typically mess with anything over here. If you wanted to, you can change the tunic swap, and that will basically, what that does is that will give Link the casual clothing he starts off with at the beginning of the game, instead of his vanilla green tunic that he always wears in every other game. You can also choose if you wanted to randomize the music here as well, and you can choose how you want that randomized. So these two right here is the only two I really mess with. I wouldn't really mess with anything over here. And then these two pages here, so this page kind of chooses like where you can where you'll find most of your items, and you can choose exactly where you want these items. And now, so what you can do is, as soon as you have your finalized places of where you want your items to be found, you can go back to your tracker and you can basically match these options with the tracker's options, and they'll give you a perfect tracker, so you don't lose anything and you don't end up searching the wrong locations. Over here are some more advanced settings, which again you can go through yourself. All I can tell you is that by default this mode will be on. You don't have to have it on if you don't want to. I didn't play with it on. It just makes the game a little bit harder, and if you're just kind of play this game casually, keep it off if I were you. Logic settings, I wouldn't really mess with anything over here unless you're trying to play this game with glitches, which I actually didn't need to use any glitches at all in my playthrough. So I would keep this leave this place alone, unless you're a speedrunner and you want to play this for the first time. For hints, these are basically what's given to you from the gossip stones and other hints from other characters. One thing that'll be on by default is this right here, the Imposter of Trials hint, and what that is after you talk to Zelda, getting your masked master sword. Spoiler, by the way, if you haven't played the game already. Impa will tell you where to find the Stone of Trials. So by default, she'll tell you that's in the Skyloft in the vanilla, but say it's in the sky, she'll say you'll find the item in the sky. So I'd have this on if you're trying to find the Stone of Trials to open Skykeep, if you're gonna play Skykeep. If you're not gonna play a game with Skykeep because you hated Skykeep like I did, you can turn this off because it's not really needed. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So after you have all your settings configured the way you want them, we just click randomize right here. Okay, so after your randomizer is done, completed, it'll say that's completed, and it'll show you your hashtag, which I didn't know what this meant until the end, but this is pretty cool. It basically shows up at the very end of your game. So after it'll say randomization complete, and that means you can X out everything over here, and everything will pop up over here in your folder that you had all your stuff in. So what I would do is I would actually take all these folders and I put them in a separate, folder. I just call it randomization, and this right here is what you're looking for. This is your randomization file. So just hold on to this because this is the most important thing. Alright, so what you're going to want to do now, so what you're going to do now is you're going to open Dolphin from the .exe file that it shows up in. So here, as you can see, I already put a little bit of Dolphin. I guess that my versions carry over from all my other versions of Dolphin that I have. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click open, and it's already going to pop up. But pretty much you're just going to locate where you have all your randomizer stuff, and you want to locate this file right here. And upon clicking it and open, it will open your randomizer, and it'll show something like this. So now you want to grab your controller you're playing with, and hopefully, if you have it set to at least A working, it will launch the game as normal. And this is going to show a couple things, which I'm just going to quickly show you guys some gameplay of it. Just weird that I have played this. Taking a second since it's here we go, and you'll see right up on the title screen there, Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword Randomizer. If you see that, you know it worked. So you click start, and then it shows you, your files like you would play normally, and then I'll just show you my file. Here's my maxed out everything I played. I'll go back in, and here I am at the end of the game. Here I have the Master Sword. I just fought Demise, Highlighting Shield, all my items here, all my pouch items here, all that, as well as, the help, and here's all my gear if you wanted to see it again. This is basically what you'll have at the end of the game if you put this key 100%. So and you can just play this game normally and just start the randomizer how you please, have fun with it, and it's definitely one of my favorite Skyward Sword games. It's definitely one of my favorite Zelda games I've ever played. It's a very, very fun game, especially on a randomizer. I've been wanting to play it for a while. Another thing before I go, so I'm just gonna close this down because I already beat it, and it doesn't really matter because it's saved. What you can do, and the game is going to look not very good when you launch it, what you can do is if you hit graphics, and if you go to enhancements, you can actually choose how it looks. So typically it's native, so if you have a strong graphics card like myself, I have a 3060 in my PC. So you can just choose, I usually do 3 times native because 3 times and 4 times are pretty much as close as you can get to like the HD one on the Switch right now. But yeah, I typically would choose 3 times. If you have a pretty good graphics card, I think my game was able to handle 3 times. It bugged out a couple times, but if your graphics card and your PC are able to handle 4 times, I think 4 times is probably the better option because it looks really, really clean, really, really crisp. But yeah, and here under controllers, you can choose between your remote. So right here, this is where you're needed to choose between what kind of how you want it to simulate your controller. And another reason I forgot to mention this before why you needed the remote was because it has this motion plus checkbox here, and without this the game won't work pretty much. So, and I have somebody that sent me presets on to a video, And I'll link that below, and these are the presets right here. So typically when I was playing the game normally, just like going through the world, I'd have this preset. And when I was flying through the air with a loft ring, or when I was free falling, I would use the flying preset. So those two are my two main presets I use, and the video link below again will show you what they do and how to play with it. So that's gonna do it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If it was helpful, please leave a like. Yeah, have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.